Foxtel CEO Patrick Delaney apologizes for Nazi salute photo. DC councilman who claimed Jews controlled the Foxtel CEO Patrick Delaney apologizes for Nazi salute photo. DC councilman who claimed Jews controlled the weather charged with bribery. Former Congressman George Santos pleads guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Democrats start convention with Biden passing torch to Harris. Kamala Harris walks out to Beyoncé and a standing ovation during DNC debut. Ocasio-Cortez, once an outsider, takes center stage at convention. In the United States, Republicans open impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden 3 months before the presidential election. FAA orders 787 cockpit seat inspections after rise in incidents. China court accepts liquidation hearing against Evergrande unit. In the U.S., 10 more states sign on to Department of Justice's Live Nation Ticketmaster antitrust suit. Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver commuters face disruption from rail strike. Recently, rail giants plan to shut down Canada network after union talks fail. Canada tells rail companies, union to work harder to avert crippling stoppage. In the UK, Labour gives green light to London City Airport expansion. Rebuilding Gaza could take over $80 billion in global cooperation. Philippines to host a U.S. visa processing center for up to 300 Afghans resettling in America. In Austria, marriage only from the age of 18 without exception. USDC tap-to-pay on Apple iPhone incoming soon, announced Circle CEO. Nearly 90% of developers surveyed say premium games don't need microtransactions. China Supreme Court revises anti-money laundering law to include virtual assets. Bank of Ghana unveils draft rules for cryptocurrency exchanges. Nigeria planning to present law to tax crypto by September, claimed in a report. Coin Center wins right to sue U.S. Treasury, IRS again over controversial tax reporting rule, as U.S. considers including crypto transactions in fiat reporting rules. George Santos loses lawsuit against Jimmy Kimmel over cameo videos. The Acolyte is dead. Star Wars series won't return for season 2. Phil Donahue, who reinvented U.S. talk shows by including the audience, dies at 88. Comedian Eric Andre alleges he was racially profiled at Melbourne Airport. Bibi Rexha says she was a victim of a hate crime after being banned from German airline for speaking Albanian. Ottawa Pride loses key allies over anti-Israel stance. Donald Trump posts AI images that falsely claim Taylor Swift endorsed him. Also, Trump shares fake image of Harris speaking to communist event. Harris proposes raising the corporate tax rate to 28%, rolling back a Trump law. Key Democratic patron Ron Conway departs from top crypto super PAC Fairshake, claims a report. In the UK, woman arrested for silent prayer outside abortion clinic wins £13,000 payout. In the UK, clapping for NHS during COVID was like treating service as a religion, Ombudsman says. Revised LDS handbook updates transgender policies, medical restrictions to garments, as new LDS church policies relegate trans members to second-class status, scholars warn. Nearly half of children born in Wales in 2002 to 2003 classed as having special educational needs. This may have negatively affected their attainment. In Argentina, 4 out of 10 young people between 25 and 35 years old live with their parents. Latinos accounted for over 90% of U.S. population growth since the beginning of the pandemic. In the UK, move to ease prison overcrowding as more rioters jailed. Also, public urge to hand in zombie knives and machetes to police, ahead of ban. Misogyny to be treated as extremism by UK government. UAW workers at Stellantis could strike over Illinois plant reopening. GM is cutting more than 1,000 workers from its software business. Harley-Davidson drops diversity efforts after attacks by anti-DI activist. Blink-182 to release part 2 of One More Time album. 16-year-old becomes first Hong Konger to win Pokemon Go World Championship. Discussions to bring UFC to SA are underway. 1979 Ford Pro by Gia concept burned leaving Monterey Car Week. Dry ice shortages limit carry-out ice cream orders in Japan. GM reveals GMC Yukon at 4 Ultimate to expand reach, profits of high-end SUVs. Apple Podcasts launches web app. Listen to your Up Next queue and library in a browser. Google Maps adds offline mode on Wear OS smartwatches in public beta, claimed in the report. New Windows 11 build removes ancient, Arbitrary 32 GB size limit for FAT32 discs. Officers involved in Kinmen capsizing not charged, and Chinese mainland criticizes Taiwan's findings on fatal fishing boat incident near Jinmen. Chinese and Philippine ships collide at Sabina Shoal, a new flashpoint. German warships await orders on crossing Taiwan Strait. China's State Security Ministry unveils espionage disguised as wind measurement tower construction. U.S. lawmakers demand probe into TP-Link, claiming spying risks from China. In Israel, Ramat Gan resident indicted for conspiring with Iranian agent to incite instability. U.S. and Mexico trade surpasses $415 billion through first half of 2024. Future murky for Russia to China pipeline, as Mongolia omits project from long-term plan. King Mohammed VI grants royal pardon to over 4,800 in cannabis-related cases. Kroger sues FTC, calling its in-house judges unconstitutional, as food industry pushes back against Kamala Harris's price gouging plan. Walmart's use of digital price tags signal the future of retail shopping, but consumers are worried. In Argentina, the government will make available to the public a database of 12 million daily prices from 3,600 supermarkets across the country. Canada to pause approval of temporary foreign workers for low-wage jobs in Montreal. Youth unemployment in China jumps to 17.1% in July. Charities condemn abuse and exploitation amid Scottish fish firm modern slavery investigation. A surprising number of iPad kids are on X study finds. Scrolling through online videos increases feelings of boredom, study finds. Pakistan blames users for slow internet as firewall rumors grow. Mike Lynch's co-defendant dies after being hit by car, days before yacht sinking. British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch reported missing after superyacht sinks off Sicily, as one person dead and 6 missing after superyacht with 22 on board is sunk by tornado off coast of Italy. Flash floods in Connecticut kill at least 2. As some towns hit by 1,000-year rain events. GoPro to cut 15% of workforce in restructuring push. iPhone challenger Nothing calls staff back in 5 days a week, threatening dissenters with dismissal. Google denies reports that it's discontinuing Fitbit products. Chechen commander says Russian conscripts must fight in Kursk Oblast, promises heaven for killed. Operation in Russia's Kursk Oblast would have been called unrealistic, so it was kept secret, says Zelensky. And Ukraine in control of 92 settlements in Russia's Kursk Oblast, Zelensky claims. Ukraine may join NATO despite being partially occupied by Russia, Czech president says. Venezuela to convene World Anti-Fascist Congress, announced by President Maduro. Putin announced that Russia offers safe haven for people trying to escape Western liberal ideals. Reportedly Alex Jones considers leaving U.S., and social media approves. French left splits again, after Mélenchon calls for Macron's impeachment. In the U.S. House Intelligence Committee chairman says Iran could declare itself a nuclear weapons state by the end of the year. U.S. intelligence officials say Iran is to blame for hacks targeting Trump and Biden-Harris campaigns. Iran demands U.S. proof of Tehran's alleged interference in presidential election. Former Saudi official alleges Crown Prince forged king's signature on Yemen war decree. Confirming Netanyahu accepts U.S. deal proposal. Blinken says Hamas must now do the same. Abbas said to ask Israel to allow Gaza visit as PA works to line up support for trip. Hamas, Islamic Jihad claim credit for Tel Aviv's suicide operation. Russia warns of consequences if Poland attempts to intercept missiles over Ukraine. Germany deploys a tank brigade to Lithuania. Modi to visit Ukraine, weeks after Kiev condemned Indian PM for hugging Putin in Moscow. And India ready to extend all support for peaceful resolution of Ukraine conflict, announced by Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Former British officer says, Putin's life is at risk from insider poisoning. Russia blacklists 32 British think tank experts, announced by Russian Foreign Ministry. Former CEO of Kansas Bank sentenced to over 24 years, for $47 million crypto fraud. Australian regulator shuts down over 600 crypto scams in the past year. Shaquille O'Neal will have to defend some of the allegations against him in the Astrals NFT lawsuit. 75% of all Bitcoin has been hodled for over 6 months. Gold bars are worth $1 million for the first time. Chinese banks hold key lending rates after PBOC signals caution. In Japan, Missing pair of scissors leads to dozens of flights being canceled and hundreds delayed. Study finds gun violence in rural America rises as deer hunting season begins. Appellate panel allows Californians to buy more than one gun per month. Canadian retail giant makes £29.2 billion bid for 7-Eleven. Purdue recalls 167,000 pounds of chicken nuggets after consumers find metal wire in some packages. AMD to buy server maker, designer ZT Systems in $4.9 billion challenge to NVIDIA. Hyundai and Kia are closing the gap with Tesla as US EV market share hits double digits. Alphabet's Waymo introduces new hardware with sensors better armed against winters. Trump says he may end EV tax credit. Is open to naming Elon Musk as an advisor. Man who pulled gun after Burger King worker wouldn't take drugs for payment gets 143 years in prison. FBI truck burglarized in San Francisco. Suspect claimed he traded valuable ballistics vest for $20 meth sack. U.S. fugitive known as the Devil captured while working as cop in Mexico 20 years after Ohio murder. Russia's United Shipbuilding Company and Baku shipyard to start constructing river-to-sea tankers, announced by Putin and Russia's Gazprom. Azerbaijan's SOCAR to broaden multifaceted strategic partnership, Gazprom CEO Alexei Miller said. Azerbaijan, Russia act as allies, friends, announced Aliyev, and durable peace in South Caucasus in everyone's best interests, said Putin. Moscow is ready to get involved in Azerbaijan and Armenia peace process, Putin says. Xeon Sender tool exploits cloud APIs for large-scale SMS phishing attacks. Windows 0 Day was exploited by North Korea to install advanced rootkit, and Microsoft patches 0-day flaw exploited by North Korea's Lazarus Group. New UU loader malware distributes Ghost RAT and Mimikatz in East Asia. Researchers uncover new infrastructure tied to FIN7 cybercrime group. Microsoft Office Teams vulnerabilities enable hackers to access camera and microphone on macOS, claimed in the report. After 7 years, Google will stop paying researchers to find vulnerabilities in popular Android apps. U.S. approves $3.5 billion sale of military helicopters to South Korea. Laser weapon appears on Chinese amphibious assault ship. Switzerland offers $60,000 cash prize for ideas to rid its iconic alpine lakes of military ammunition. Oil producer APA explores $1 billion sale of Permian assets, sources say. China makes $31 billion nuclear push with record approvals. Hong Kong Monetary Authority task force to help SMEs struggling to repay loans. Recently HKMA vows to act as banks tighten screws. Harris to propose up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homebuyers. As Harris to endorse protections for renters and removal of key tax benefits for Wall Street investors buying homes. Where Harris to target price gouging in first policy speech in North Carolina. With Milei, poverty in Argentina reaches 73.3%. Half of crypto ads on Facebook are scams or violate Meta's policies, consumer regulator alleges, as Australian regulator claims 58% of crypto ads on Facebook are scams. Meta denies claims of crypto ad scams on Facebook. Crypto criminals shift focus to centralized exchanges, Chainalysis report reveals. ZachXBT claims 21 North Korea crypto devs are making $500,000 a month. Matthew Perry's assistant and doctors charged with getting him ketamine. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk named in cyberbullying lawsuit filed by Algerian boxer Amain Khalif after Olympic win. 50 Cent says celebs are silent on Diddy because they've been to his parties. Nicolas Cage to play NFL icon John Madden in David O. Russell's biopic. Trump says presidential civilian award is better than top military honor whose recipients are dead or hit by bullets. Tim Walz and J.D. Vance agree to U.S. vice presidential debate, setting up October 1st clash. Texas Attorney General threatens lawsuit over the state fair banning guns. In the UK, Conservative Party's visa restrictions on international students won't be reversed, Education Secretary says. In Canada, cell phone ban coming to Manitoba schools this fall, Kinyu announces. FCC approves AST SpaceMobile's first commercial satellite launch, space-based broadband network direct to everyday cell phones. In the UK, Extinction Rebellion's plan to storm Windsor Castle and camp on royal grounds for 3 days revealed. In the US, a Jordanian citizen arrested for explosives threats and attack on energy facility, for their perceived support for Israel. Kim.com to be extradited from New Zealand after 12 years fight with U.S. Pagani says 70% of Utopias sold have manual transmissions. 2025 Lincoln Navigator gets a massive new screen, second-row massage seats. Geely Xpeng. Xiaomi boosted by strong vehicle sales amid threats from EU tariffs. Citroën leaving Australia after being outsold by Ferrari. In the UK, thousands hit by fines from cloned car plates. Acura's new concept previews the first model atop Honda's EV platform that will be built in US. Home Depot warns of pullback in consumer spending, saying Americans are delaying big projects, and 1/3 of home builders are slashing prices, as confidence in the market falls to 8 months low. Travel companies rein in their forecasts as U.S. consumers cut spending. U.S. nearly doubles duty on Canadian softwood lumber. New Androcon attack exploits GPS signal metadata to breach user privacy. Google confirms Iran-linked hackers targeted Trump-Biden campaigns. T-Mobile faces record $60 million fine for failing to report data access violation. Microsoft will soon have its own AirDrop for Windows PCs and Android. Reportedly, Google's AI future depends on Android. A Department of Justice threat to split it off creates an existential crisis. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt blames remote work for falling behind against OpenAI, apologizes, then video of Eric Schmidt blaming remote work for Google's woes mysteriously vanishes. MIT delivers database containing 700+ risks associated with AI. The AI scientists Sakana AI, the first comprehensive system for fully automatic scientific discovery, occasionally tries to increase its chance of success, such as modifying and launching its own execution script. Former Google CEO says successful AI startups can steal IP and hire lawyers to clean up the mess. In the U.S., Democrats accuse Kroger of using digital price tags to gouge consumers. Mars to buy Pringles maker Kellanova for $36 billion in 2024's biggest deal. Federal Trade Commission announces final rule banning fake reviews and testimonials. Driver's licenses and state IDs in Apple Wallet are coming soon to California. Meta Quest HDMI link will be released, which allows you to display images from notebook PCs, smartphones, game consoles, etc. on Meta Quest. Cisco slashes thousands of workers, as it announces yearly profit of $10.3 billion. Trump warns that if Kamala Harris wins, everybody gets health care, and Donald Trump says he's entitled to personal attacks on Kamala Harris. Secret Service approves bulletproof glass to shield Trump at outdoor rallies. In the U.S., Biden and Harris administration announces new, lower prices for first 10 drugs selected for Medicare price negotiation to lower costs for millions of Americans. LA woman sentenced to 12 years in Russian prison over $51 donation to Ukraine. Ukraine to offer citizenship to foreign fighters and their families. RFK Jr. now seeks deal with Harris for administration role in exchange for endorsement, after making same offer to Trump. Sanders accuses Trump of laying groundwork for election denial with AI crowd claims. Harris campaign deceptively trims Trump post about Elon Musk interview. Ukraine cleared to use armor donated by Canada on Russian territory. Biden open to sending long-range cruise missiles to Ukraine. British Challenger 2 tanks thought to have been used inside Russia by Ukrainian troops. Biden joins calls for new elections in Venezuela, and White House walks back Biden's call for new Venezuela election. Thaksin's daughter Paetongtarn Shinawatra to become new Thai PM. In Canada, Pierre Poilievre promises to defund the CBC, after $18.4 million bonus amount revealed. Belarus Lukashenko urges Russia and Ukraine to end war as Kursk incursion continues and U.S. wants Russians, Ukrainians to die in conflict, says Lukashenko. China and Vatican discuss Ukraine peace plan as Russia continues to lose ground. White House confirms Russia redeploy part of its troops to Kursk region. WHO Director General declares monkeypox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. China to screen arrivals showing monkeypox symptoms as cases spread outside Africa. Sweden records first case of new monkeypox variant outside Africa. Iran is giving $24 to anyone who reports illegal crypto miners. U.S. moves $600 million of Silk Road Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime, but not necessarily to sell. Floki becomes official cryptocurrency partner of Nottingham Forest FC. Iraq says announcement on date for end to U.S.-led coalition mission postponed. China will limit exports of antimony, a mineral used in products from batteries to weapons. In Russia, YouTube launches function for quick transfer of content from YouTube. In Israel, Attorney General tells Netanyahu to form independent inquiry to avoid ICC warrant. Saudi Crown Prince fears assassination over normalization with Israel. Abbas declares Gaza indivisible from Palestine, and Gaza truce talks start in Doha as Israel and Iran tensions simmer. Hurricane Ernesto heads for Bermuda after causing power cuts in Puerto Rico. Deadly floods hit Chad's Tibesti province, killing 54 and devastating economy. Typhoon ample barrels towards Tokyo disrupting flights' power. SolarWinds releases patch for critical flaw in web help desk software. New GAFJIT botnet variant targets weak SSH passwords for GPU crypto mining. GitHub vulnerability Artifact exposes repositories to potential takeover. Russian-linked hackers target Eastern European NGOs and media. Ransom Hub Group deploys new EDR killing tool in latest cyber attacks. New cyber threat targets Azerbaijan and Israel diplomats, stealing sensitive data. Russia diplomat says Ukraine wouldn't have attacked Nord Stream without U.S. approval. And in Nord Stream gas pipeline sabotage, Poland receives arrest warrant for Ukrainian. Ukraine presidential advisor denies Ukraine's involvement in Nord Stream explosions. Recently, Ukrainian team blew up Nord Stream pipeline, claims report. Binance agrees to $1.76 million settlement with Brazilian authorities, and Binance restarts services in India after 7 months regulatory halt. Goldman Sachs reveals more than $400 million in Bitcoin ETF holdings. Klarna takes on banks with a personal account and cashback rewards ahead of IPO. North Korean leader says thousands of flood victims will be brought to capital for temporary care. 1 week ago, in North Korea, thousands evacuated and homes destroyed by flooding amid worsening food shortage. Mercury bomb threatens millions as Arctic temperatures rise. Japan lifts megaquake alert after no major seismic activity detected. Navy completes install of first MQ-25 unmanned air warfare center aboard USS George H.W. Bush. China's military AI detects secret radar links between South China Sea, Alaska and Guam. U.S. eases tech curbs to boost AUKUS security pact with UK and Australia. NASA citizen scientists spot object moving 1 million miles per hour. Astronomers spot a giant planet that is as light as cotton candy. Dinosaur-killing Chicxulub asteroid formed in solar system's outer reaches. Crypto Democrats rally behind Harris campaign and push for policy revamp, and Republicans claim betrayal as cryptocurrency PAC backs Democrats. Donald Trump holds over $1 million in Ether, also receives NFT licensing fees, and Trump reveals $513 million from golf clubs and resorts. NYC Mayor Eric Adams and his campaign receive subpoenas in federal investigation. California weakens bill to prevent AI disasters before final vote, taking advice from Anthropic. Deepfake porn website sued by San Francisco city attorney. Biden admin wants to make canceling subscriptions easier. Google quietly opens Imagen 3 access to all U.S. users. XAI releases Grok 2 adds image generation on X. JP Morgan Chase is giving its employees an AI assistant powered by ChatGPT maker OpenAI. Nearly 25% of European landscape could be re-wilded, say researchers. Scientists find humans age dramatically in 2 bursts at 44 then 60. Launch of Russia's Bion biosatellite postponed to 2025. A Japanese dancer is booed after winning a flamenco festival in Murcia. U.S. Embassy in China faces backlash over color-adjusted photos of swimmers' faces at Paris Olympics. Self-driving Waymo cars keep SF residents awake all night by